This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Very warm welcome to Face the Nation on a day on which 20 years ago history is supposed to have ended. The Berlin Wall came down on 9th November 1989, and so did the decades-old confrontation between communism and capitalism, with capitalism the unquestioned victor. That brings us to our question of the day tonight. 20 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, is the triumph of capitalism a good thing? Type QTD space Y for yes, QTD space N for no, SMS to 51818. You can also vote online on ibnlive.com, and remember you can also join us on twitter.com to send us your live tweet, which we can now also play on the show. So do go log on to twitter.com and tweet away. Joining us tonight, D. Raja, MP and National Secretary of the Communist Party of India, is joining us. We have Gurcharan Das, economist, joining us as well. Writer in our studio, author Nik Gowing, senior journalist, news presenter with the BBC. Gentlemen, thanks very much indeed for joining us. First, the top story on Face the Nation. It's exactly 20 years since the Berlin Wall, the symbol of the Cold War, was brought down. It was an event that marked the beginning of the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe and the collapse of the Soviet Union itself in 1991. Here's a report.
November 9th, 1989. The day the wall that separated two cultures but one people was brought down in a peaceful and bloodless way. After the end of the Second World War, Germany was divided into 4 military occupation zones: French, British, American and Soviet. The Soviet zone was called East Germany, and the territory held by the three allies, West Germany. The city of Berlin was similarly split into two, East and West Berlin. Between 1945 and 1961, around 3 million people moved to the west from Soviet-occupied East Germany and its closed economy. As migration from East Germany via West Berlin was the easiest escape route, East Germany's leaders came up with the idea of installing an obstruction to stop the physical movement. This was to be the Berlin Wall. It was erected in the night of August 13, 1961, and went on to become a symbol of confinement. Over the years, more than 75,000 people were imprisoned for trying to leave East Germany without permission. In 1987, US President Ronald Reagan visited Berlin and called on Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to end the division.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
In October 1989, Gorbachev visited East Berlin for the 40th anniversary of East Germany's founding. Gorbachev, who was promoting reform in the Soviet Union, called upon the East German leadership to do the same. On November 9, 1989, after months of pressure, the ruling Communist Party's media chief told reporters that the Politburo had decided to allow East Germans to travel to the west with immediate effect. Later it was revealed that the announcement had been bungled. But the damage had been done. Berliners began crowding the checkpoints on the wall within minutes of his televised remarks, and thousands of people began to chip away at the wall with hammers and sickles. By the time the night ended, the Berlin Wall had been brought down. 11 months later, Germany was reunited. For CNN IBN, this is Shreyas Sardesai.
Let's get to the initial results now of our SMS poll. 20 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, is the triumph of capitalism a good thing? Is it desirable for the world? What are you telling us at the start of the show? 70% saying yes, 30% saying no. Big majority there saying yes, it's a good thing that capitalism has triumphed. Let's get into Crossfire.